Boxing Live here. EJ Boxing Live here.
EJ Boxing Live with Eddie Hearn. Big card in summer.
Is that EJ?
EJ.
That's me and all. I'm EJ.
Are you Eddie Hearn?
Eddie John. Yeah.
Is it?
EJH, but like still EJ.
Oh, that's good to you. Alright, so we got a big fight in the summer. So tell the fight fans what on the card today.
Well, this is really the future of our stable and of British boxing as well. Frank Buglioni, as I said to him in the presser, all becomes kind of like the elder statesman really on this card. Now, although he's British champion, he's still got plenty left in the tank because all the young kids coming through are going to be featuring, stepping some of them up into big title fights. Joshua Boazzi announced today, who I feel like is going to be one of the top stars of British boxing. So this is the future, and I think that you've got a stake now in British boxing where a lot of the bigger names are in the final stages or the final phase of their career. You know, Tony Bellew, maybe Crawler, maybe Kell Brook. Final 4 or 5 fights of their career. And now the new kids are coming through, not just the Olympians that are starting out, but also the ones that are 8, 9, 10 and 0. A lot of them are up there at the table, you know, Cheeseman, Bellotti, Isaac Chamberlain, you know, these kind of guys who have the opportunity to progress to be headline acts on Saturday night fight nights, but they've got to keep winning. But now it's sort of crunch time for them.
Absolutely, I was going to say, because you've got a couple of fighters on the same card, obviously with Isaac Chamberlain and Lawrence Okoli, they're obviously the same weight class. You've got a couple of like in-house fights you could make
you're
later
going to see
on.
a lot of that in the new season.
Yeah?
Talk about the new season, that's sort of September, but we're going to be looking to make a lot of in-house fights because people have got to fight each other, and the only one who gets criticised when fighters don't take fights is me. You know, I want to make great fights. I want to see. I'm a fan, but you also have to develop the career of a fighter correctly. Give them the chance to learn and be ready for those big fights. But when it's time to pull the trigger, they've got to take it. Do you know what I mean? And we can't afford, with the competition in boxing at the moment, with promoters and broadcasters, to not make good fights. So therefore, if you don't want a real fight, I can't do anything for you. No. And you may see in the new season fighters leave because I want them to be in certain fights. It's not a case of you've got to fight King Kong, but you've got to be in a fight where, even if you're still a favourite, but you're a slight favourite, that's good enough for me. If you're good enough, you'll win. If you're not, we know what level you're at. And you've still got a future, but just not where we want you to be. So, you know, a lot of those guys are going to be in crunch fights, and I think a lot of in-house fights as well. Because, like you say, Isaac Chamberlain against Lawrence Okoli, I mean, that's not a fight for me for another 12 months. But when it does come, it can be a big fight for London and the division, and it should have a big belt attached to it as well.
Where it could be like a George Groves and James McGill.
And we've got to build a lot of that. A lot of them fights.
Talking about George Groves and James McGill, obviously getting off the subject slightly, so George has just won a title. What's your take on that, and do you think at some point that they're going to have the rematch?
I mean, it's always difficult to get those two to agree to anything, but you know, generally now you'd say it's 50-50. One's got a belt, another one's got a belt. But George broke his jaw in that fight. He had an op last week. Although he seems to think he'll be ready for October, I've seen these injuries before, and you know, probably December's more realistic. But the De Gale fight is there. I'd like to see James get out in September. You know, I think he's looking for those big fights. You've got Callum Smith also challenging for a world title in September. In fact, that was a fight we looked at, Smith De Gale, for July, but Callum wanted to go down the WBC route. You've got Eubank as well at super middle. You know, you've got Jamie Cox fighting Rocky Fielding. Winner of that's going to be in the mix for him as well. So you know, every division you seem to look at domestically, there's great fights. You know, you used to think light middle's a bit weak. It's 140 pound. There's not much going on. Featherweight, it's a bit boring. Now there's fights in every single division that seem very attractive.
Absolutely, and obviously your take on Kell Brook, obviously disappointing defeat to Errol Spence, but brave and gallant effort. What's your take on him, and what's your take on if Kell Brook going to come back at that weight, or is he going to go over?
I mean, look, after the Golovkin fight, I wanted him to move to 154 anyway, but he didn't want to vacate the belt. You know, he didn't want to be seen to avoid Errol Spence, and it was very brave and it was very honourable. And he made the weight well, but in terms of for him, he made it well. But it was still, you saw for the first 6 rounds, I thought he was quite comfortable in the fight, he was winning the fight, and then you know, a mixture of the weight, the eye, and the brilliance of Errol Spence. By the way, you can't take that away. He was the better man on the night. He couldn't maintain the pace to deal with Errol Spence. The injury was a gutter. because the right eye held up fine from the operation, and now he's going to need the same operation on the left eye. So, but as I said, the right eye is now fine. Hopefully, the left eye will now be fine. I feel like he has to move up to 154, try and have a fight in December, and move into that new weight class. You know, he's had a couple of big profile fights back to back, and although he's lost, his stock continues to rise, and you know, one win at 154, and I think he can be in the big fights.
Alright, man. Well, Eddie Hearn, man, I was going to say, obviously you got Joshua and AJ's fight, and either, was it Victor, or not Victor Ortiz, what am I talking about? Lewis Ortiz, or you got Pulev. There's them sort of fights happening, and obviously you got the Klitschko rematch.
I believe it'll be Klitschko next for AJ, and then we have Pulev is our first mandatory we have to deal with. Then Victor Ortiz. I prefer Victor Ortiz and Lewis Ortiz. 147. So we'll have to deal with all those guys as we go, and that's good news because we want as many contenders as possible. AJ wants to fight Dylan White as well in 2018. Hopefully we can get him a belt as well, and that'll be a huge fight. But we need as many people lining up as possible because this is not something that's going to be over in 12 months. This is something we want for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Yeah,
absolutely. I was going to say about UK boxing, even though that we've got a lot of world titles, but the exciting fights, it gets to the point where they're fighting, and it's not about the belts, it's about actually the performances in the ring. And with Sky Sports and some of the fighters on your card, you've been delivering some of the best fights that we've seen in a decade. So
yeah, I think so, and not just us as well. I think everybody. The reason we're doing that is because we're getting pushed by other broadcasters, other promoters. Maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago, I weren't getting out of bed with the same drive because we were winning so easily. We didn't really have to do a lot, you know what I mean? But now there is competition, and of course that pushes you, and it pushes the broadcaster to want more and to beat other broadcasters, to put more money in, which is great news for everyone, especially fighters. Great time to be a fighter.
Absolutely.
You're getting overpaid, you're getting more opportunities than you should do, but that's fine. I don't mind overpaying, but you've got to be in real fights. That's the difference. You can't be having easy paydays are nice, and you can get them on the way up. But when, like I said, when it's time to pull the trigger, you've got to go.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what you'll be seeing in the new season.
Absolutely, with Ahara Davis going over Channel 5.
Exactly, but that's a good example. You know, we had a great offer. It seemed like they didn't want to take the fight on our card, so I'm not stopping O'Hara. Let him go and beat Josh Taylor, come back, be a big star with us. It's a lot of money for him, and it's a great fight.
Alright, Eddie Hearn, man, appreciate that. You guys listening, make sure you tune in Sky Sports July the 1st for the big summer card with all the top prospects in the country. Thanks very much, Eddie Hearn.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one, thanks.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.